Hey crafty cuties! Hope you guys are doing lovely. Today I'm going to unbox one of my junk trunk kits with you. First of all, I want to mention that every single kit is going to vary a little bit. Overall, like I made them equal. This is just going to be kind of an idea representation of what you can kind of expect. So also, the kit that I'm showing here is a US kit. I mentioned several times that the international kits are going to be a little bit different, which was why I gave a $5 off code. Not everyone used that code, but I did mention you had to do it right at checkout. The reason I wanted to give that is because number one, you weren't going to get glue. And then the other thing was that I had to keep them under 8 ounces, which meant I really could not just be adding in extra things, which I did do with the US kits. I kept adding things because I did have room to do that. But I did make sure that the international kits basically got the base of what you needed to create a journal. So you would have got the important items. And in the future, I honestly might change that shipping so that I can stuff those ones a little bit more, but it would actually be $7 more for international shipping. So, okay, so let's just go. Every kit will get a little card like so, and it's just basically talking about what, where I got the inspiration to do the kits. And I mentioned the Junk Trunk crew: Lindsay, Zenor, Tori Bissell, Tiffy Butter, Ably 25, Cheaply Chic, and Kara Brandon. Highlights of the month, I include some of my favorite places to shop. I have Mattis Lace and Trimming on eBay, which is lace remnants, Feed the Birdies, Instagram, Junk That Treasures on Etsy, and the Junk Journal Artist of the Month is Lindsay Zenor. You will see that we have a sample of something that she offers in her store in the actual kit. So it's just kind of packaged up in a padded or an envelope mailer like so. And I'm just going to kind of go by one. So the first thing that I was so excited was to include my absolute favorite glue. Again, this is only in the US kits, unfortunately. So we have a full-size glue. This little bag right here, I feel like this could be deceiving. It might not look like much, and that's why I want to go through this kit, because there are some very important pieces in here. Okay, so inside you'll have my little card, and in this little bag you have some hemp twine, or rope, kind of, not rope, it's like twine, and I believe it's like a yard and a half or something like that. This is enough to either use in a tassel, which I often do, or you can use it to go around a tassel, or you can use it on tags. So many different ways that you can use this. I think this is really cute on tags, and you get a good amount. Sorry. And then you will also get my favorite Dollar Tree lace or some sari silk ribbon, and I believe it's 18 inches or so. You'll either get one big piece that you can cut in half and use as lace closures. That's what I use it for. Or yours might already be cut in half, so you might have 2 shorter pieces. But you can also use this on a tassel, or you can use it on the edges of your pages. And so, yeah, I love this lace so much. Then we have some other things in here. This is some embroidery floss, and I put this in here for the meaning of using it for binding. And of course you don't have to use it for binding. It's 2 yards. You can use it for a tassel or tags, again, whatever you would hope for. All of the kits, I will try to mention if there's anything that the international kits did not get. So far, the glue is the only thing that you would not have received. Okay, so this is another really important little bag. And in here, let's see if I can open this up. Sorry, guys. Okay, come on. In here are some important little pieces. Already said that, didn't I? Okay, so you will get a teeny little charm, and this is just a really basic charm. I know there we go. It says made with love, and I just felt that any themed journal could use this. You can use it on its own. It is small, but I think it's cute, and it would work for any type of journal that you end up creating. So you will also get a metal loop, and I use this to create tassels, and they just open like so. You will get a ring fastener, and this is what I use to put charms on the spines of my book. Just, you know, I use this all the time. And then you will also get a swivel clasp, and these are both Tim Holtz. So yeah, those are the real deal. And so then there are some other little pieces that you will get in your little baggie here, and this is going to vary because I had ordered metal book corners like a month ago, and they should have been here by now, and they're not. So I ended up taking that idea out and replacing it with some actual vintage buttons and some paper clips. But you might notice some kits will have these, and if I end up receiving my order before they're all shipped out, then I will start including them as well. But I hope that makes sense. So I replaced the idea with these. However, you might just have these in your kit and it's an extra, if that, yeah, does that make sense? Okay, so you may or may not get these. The international kits probably won't have these because these were one of the items that were making my kits just way too much, which was a bummer. But, and yeah, these are vintage buttons that I have found in my outings, and those are all gonna vary with color and shape. I think they are fun because they're just special things that I've picked out. Every kit will get a bag of lace, and this is just basically a sample of what you can expect when you purchase your lace from Mattis Lace and Trimming. And you'll probably get around 10 pieces, and they are going to be cut down. Most of them will be around between 6 and 9 inches. Look how gorgeous that is. And so they will be a good size for your pages, or they may, you could use them on a tassel. And keep in mind, when you get pieces like this, you can trim this down the center and get more use out of it. So yeah, you'll get somewhere between 10 and 15 pieces of lace. And you might end up seeing some fabric, which I also have in another thing here. Okay, so we have the lace, and then you will have another bag that's going to have some just very random samples. Both kits will have this. Now I stuffed this one just so I can show you a good idea of the different things you can expect. But you will just get, I think it's around 3 or 4 different items. And so I have teeny little embroidery floss. These are vintage. And then there's just different things like different ribbons, vintage fabric scraps that you could use to make pockets, or you could use to make, you know, different little tip-ins on your pages. And so this, again, this is just an example of the different things that you can expect. This is some wallpaper. You could use this for a pocket as well, or a little tuck spot. And then some kits may have little samples of vintage wrapping paper. So you'll see a different combination of these things in your kit. Every single kit will have a sample of some journal cards. These, I believe they're called the Oxide and Lace journaling cards. And these are made by Lindsay Zenor. So on here I have her information so you can find her shop easily. And she sells the digital files to these. And I believe it is a set of 6. So what I went and did was I printed them out. Not everyone has a printer. And I cut them out for you, and you'll get 3 of them. So it's just kind of like a sample. You know, this is what you can expect in Lindsay's shop. And these are fun. You can just put them in your journals as ephemera pieces, or you can use them as pockets and things like that. I show a couple different ways in my tutorials. Every single kit will get a piece of muslin. and you can use this to cover your journal, or you can use it cut up in however you would like. So there's that. I'm gonna go. Every single kit will get the base of the journal, and that is a manila envelope. It will be scored for you. This one's inside out, but that's okay. You can turn it this way. And so, yep, it's scored and ready for you. You can cover it with fabric, or you can cover it with paper. You can do the faux leather technique that I show on my tutorial. And then you will get a binding template printed out, and then along with the kit, you also got the digital file so that you can print this as many times as you need. You're gonna get a variety of papers, and this is where it's going to vary a little bit for the international kit, because this was another thing that was just making them way too much, unfortunately. And I say that because I wish I could just stuff them as full as I could, but I can't. So I believe most international kits might not have this additional manila envelope, and then the amount of paper is just going to be a little bit different. You'll still have a variety of papers, but it's just not going to be as many as this. There's going to be lined paper, elementary type paper, a couple pieces of ledger paper, graph paper, and copy paper. You can copy dye these or keep them just normal. And then you're going to get a little sample of vintage book pages as well. You will get something with an image on it. It might be a bird page. It might be from an old Reader's Digest page. Each page will get some type of botanical page. So it might be something like this, or here's the back of this one. Or it might be from like a garden book like this. It will be some type of botanical page. I hope that makes sense. Just some more vintage book pages. You might get music paper, or you might get just other various vintage book pages. So you'll get those. And then this is the last little thing. This is one of my favorite parts of it. You're going to get a glassine bag. You can use the bag in your journal. And then you're going to get basically a bunch of little ephemera pieces and things that you can use inside your journals. And again, this is going to vary on the international because I was not able to stuff these as full, but you will get a sample of what you see here. You might get some vintage stamps or vintage photos like this, some vintage playing cards or game pieces like this. That's my card there. You'll get a library card. There are layaway tags and these old library cards that I actually was just gifted and I'm sharing with you guys. Guest checks, receipts like this, message pads, and then you'll get some envelopes. And I loved making expandable folders with these, which I have a full tutorial. So I feel like you could look at these and be like, oh cool, like white envelopes, what am I gonna do with that? But that's the thing, guys. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to think about how can you use these basic supplies and take them to the next level. You know, maybe you don't want to make a journal that's this size. You could cut this down and make it a traveler's notebook size. There are no rules to this. And then there's some index cards. So there we go, guys. That's everything in this one kit. And like I said, they're all going to vary a little bit. The international kits will have a little bit less than this. But I do think, like I mentioned, I'm going to make some changes, I think, for the future, just because I feel a little too limited for the international kits. And I just really want to be able to stuff them full and make you guys happy. So I'm brainstorming, and I think for the first month, though, this is going great. And P.S., like I always throw extra things in here, so you might see this, but I'm still finding things, and I might, you know, add those in as we go. So there we go, guys. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you're wondering like, oh, what's so cool about this or that, or if you want to ask, how could I use this or that, let me know down below and I can give you guys some ideas. We'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for this month. Bye.